Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I create a beautiful rose with coloured pencils, starting with a watercolour base and then layering those pencils to really bring it to life. The reference photo that I've used for this sketch is one of my own, and I took it on a visit to Bodent Gardens last year, and I'm using it purely for the outline of the flower and to see where the shadows and highlights are. I'm not at all interested in matching colour or trying to find the perfect colour. The materials I'm using for this sketch are Fontaine Pastelmat, Rowney Simply Watercolours and Faber Castell Polychromos. Now this is a new thing for me. What I've started recently is using a watercolour base for my drawings. I'm not a watercolourist. I'm using Rowney Simply Watercolours, which is a cheap set of watercolours I picked up from my local range shop. And what I've done is mixed up a few colours using the reds, oranges, a bit of white and yellow and cream to create some different shades for the base colours. And I guess what I'm doing is using my paintbrush as though it were my pencil to map out the basic shapes and shadows of the rose. For me, I actually find this super helpful because it helps me to get rid of that blank page really quickly, and it gives me a solid foundation to work from. Because I'm a bit of a procrastinator, and without the watercolour, I know I would start on one small part of a petal and just spend forever and a day gently shading. My goal for this year is to loosen up and to stop being so controlled and incorporate a lot more colour in my art. The plan is to get this little project completed from start to finish in one sitting. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a race, it's a personal challenge for me, and at the end of the day, practice means progress. To date, my art has been down the pet portrait route, so my colour palette has been more neutral tones, and I feel I need to add much more colour into my life. Once you've got that watercolour base down, you need to let it dry completely. It's important to give it time to dry so we don't damage the paper and so we can build up the coloured pencils on top without smudging or disturbing the paint. If you don't want to wait, and if you haven't got the patience to wait, it shouldn't take too long, you can always use a hairdryer to speed up the process. Once the watercolour is dry, we're ready to then go in and start layering the coloured pencils. And what I'm trying to do is work my way around the petals, starting with my darkest colours to gently map in the shadows. This is where the depth really starts to show. I'm using circular motion and I'm building up the layers from working from the dark shadows out towards the lighter colours. Just keep layering and blending until you get the depth and saturation and detail that you want and you're happy with. I would love to say that I am a methodical person. However, with my art, I'm one of these people that usually just dips in and out of different sections. And I'm trying my very hardest here to work from petal to petal. It is difficult. It feels much freer to just go wherever you feel pulled to go. But doing that, I think it may come across a little bit messy. Once I have mapped out the basic shapes and shadows, it's at this point that I will totally disregard the reference photo. This helps me to focus on what feels right as I work. I can add my own touch of creativity, experiment with the colours and not stress about matching colours exactly. This is a sketch for me. I'm not planning on hanging the drawing and the photo on a wall side by side. So who cares if the colours in my drawing match the actual photo? This way I'm drawing and colouring what I feel, and that's where the magic happens. Put something of yourself into your creation. As I go along, I add more layers, some final touches here and there, blending out edges and deepening the shadows. Your darks need to be dark and your lights light. You'll hear that from every artist. This is something that I personally need to work on, as I can sometimes end up layering and blending everything so that it's all mid-tone, which in turn makes my drawings look a little flat. It's something I plan to develop and improve on. And I just keep going until I'm happy that the petals look vibrant and semi-realistic. I'm not aiming for photorealism. I want my drawing to be realistic and recognisable to the subject that I'm drawing, but I want it to look like a pencil drawing. I have tried the photorealistic style with my pet portraits. I don't think I ever really quite achieved it though, but I feel much more pulled to looser, more illustrative and more colourful and enchanting pieces. I'm using these quick pieces to incorporate more colours into my work. I'm feeling much more drawn to fairies, forests and flowers. That's what will be coming soon on the channel. I'm using washi tape to tape this picture down to the drawing board, which I am just gently peeling back, and so I can rotate the flower around to work on it from different angles. you would like to recreate this rose for yourself and you don't feel confident enough to create the outline, feel free to contact me and I will send you the outline. I'm not brilliant with technology, I will admit, but I'm sure we can sort something out. I hope you enjoyed watching this time lapse and found the process helpful. If you have any tips of your own, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. I absolutely love learning from other creatives. And if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more creativity. Thank you for hanging with me, and I will see you in the next one.